Hello, everyone. Welcome live to 3Wide TV, tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League here from the Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Peter Short, and joining me in the booth here tonight is Bob Giaquinto. And Bob, great to be back here at Bristol Motor Speedway, this racetrack known as the last great Coliseum for all of its beating and banging, and I'm expecting to see some here tonight. What about you?
Absolutely. This is going to be a fantastic race. A lot of beating and banging. And, another thing that comes along with that are some tempers. So some tempers could possibly flare as tonight's race goes down. It's a 150-lap shootout here for tonight's race. And it's going to be some nonstop action.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to be a lot of fun here tonight at this racetrack. And we're already in the qualifying session here. We'll bring up those qualifying times there on the left-hand side of your screen. Jason Gracias in the number 4 machine here, Bob. He has been lightning quick over the series this year. And here again, fastest in qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, what really is there to say about Jason that we haven't said already this year? He's got 2 wins so far on the season, an average start of just about 4th place, and an average finish of 3rd. So he's really been dominating this Total Nonstop Racing season so far, and right now he's looking to keep that pressure up and starting on pole so far provisionally.
Yeah, there you see Tristan Mayer going around the racetrack in the number 17 Pennzoil machine. So far, he has yet to put in a lap time that iRacing has scored. We'll see if he puts one in this time. And indeed he does. He's going to go to P3 on the board. So good lap there by Tristan Mayer in the Pennzoil Chevrolet. We'll see what he can do tonight because he's been one of those drivers, Bob, who's kind of been knocking on the door of a win.
Yeah, he really has. Last week, if you were watching our Dash for Cash race, it came down to really a judgment call by the officials going by the last scoring loop to determine that Tristan Mayer was 2nd place in our Dash for Cash race last week, being edged out by the 52 of Ron Chicky. But yeah, Tristan Mayer has been all over the place and just really knocking down that door and getting ever so closely. Right now, he's 5th place in the point standings, still inside the playoffs as we have just 2 more races left until we start the playoffs.
And what about Hot Lap Ron Chicky? That man right there just went to top of the board, currently with a 14.862 to knock Jason Gracias off of his pedestal. Tony Lucarelli, 3rd on the board right now. You see Hot Lap Ron trying to get some extra laps, and we got a quick peek there of Mike Floppy Tellier in the number 97. It has not been a good qualifying session for him. As you can see, that left front just dragging on the floor. It looks like he will not get a time in. So here tonight, Bob, looks like we might have to see Mike Tellier charge from the back.
Yeah, certainly, and that's not something that we've really seen coming out of Floppy, especially over the last few races. Obviously, last week in the Dash for Cash race, he had the fast practice, which netted him a cool $25. But this week, so far, Bristol being a little bit tough on the 97 machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Another driver currently out there on the racetrack right here is this man. That is Dave Harvey in the number 77. He's one of those drivers who is looking for an opportunity to get to victory lane so far this year. Coming out of turn number 4, coming to the stripe. We'll see what type of lap time he can put in here in that number 77. Been very, very fast, especially in qualifying. Doesn't look like he's able to get a lap time in this time. So we'll see if he can get one in on lap number 2 or whether or not iRacing will disqualify both of his laps. Comes to the line and goes P3. So very good lap there by the number 77 of Harvey. And that is going to do it for the qualifying session. So he just snuck that lap time in before the session was over. And on the inside of row number 2, good job there by Dave Harvey.
Yeah, really great qualifying run and great to see some building up there for Dave Harvey. He's had some connection issues in the past, recently got that fixed, but it's great to see him getting that 3rd place start.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see if we can now go down to tonight's starting lineup because it is Hot Lap Ron Chicky who will be starting on the pole in that number 52 machine with Jason Gracias in the big red number 4 to his outside. Row number 2 on the inside, Dave Harvey, just mentioning him. And Tony Lucarelli in the number 41. He needs a good finish here here tonight. On row number 3 on the inside, the number 14 of Dylan Stipe, and to his outside, the number 17 of Tristan Mayer. Keep an eye on him here tonight in that bright yellow Pennzoil car. You can't miss it. On the inside of row number 4 is the number 20 machine, Jason Freeman, with Philip Scott, and the number 8 to his outside. A couple buddies right there on row number 4. And rounding out your top 5 here, we'll have to go back through. I clicked the wrong button. There's Billy Thornton and Garrett Gleason on row number 5. And I got to say here tonight, Bob, that's a pretty good run for that number 7 machine.
Yeah, real great run for Garrett. Starting in the top 10. Qualifying hasn't really been his strong suit so far in the season, but great to see him getting some consistency as the races wind down. Starting in 11th, the 55 machine of Steven Dosiak, and outside of him is the 22 of Stephen Kegman. Starting up in 13th, 38 Vinny Valvano, and next to him, the 84 of Matt Monticelli. Starting in the 15th position, the 44 of Kyle Givishausen, and outside of him, the 35 of Joe Heater in 16th. In 17th, the 83 of Austin Grover, and not setting a qualifying time tonight, the 63 of Matt Leach in 18th. In 19th, Mike Floppy Tellier did not have his qualifying lap count, so he will be starting 19th. And in 20th, the 71 of Fernando Matos.
Yeah, we're going to jump back up to the front of the field because that man right there, Hot Lap Ron Chicky, is about to get us underway here at Bristol Motor Speedway for tonight's festivities. It's going to be a fairly lengthy race here tonight. There is going to be a stage break, but that Ford Mustang has hopefully worked his way off the racetrack for the final time here tonight, 150 laps, and that outside line, the number 4 machine, we've seen him so quick so far this year. Jason Gracias shot out like a cannon there, Bob. He's going to get an early lead here going through turn number 3 on lap number 1.
Yeah, what a huge jump there by the 4 machine, able to jump out in front of everyone, and look at him starting right behind him on the outside. The 41 of Tony Lucarelli also picking up some positions. Hot Lap Ron starting to fall back just a little bit, didn't get as great of a restart, or as the start of the race rather, as he had hoped for.
Yeah, and Tony Lucarelli there in the 41 up to second. Now look at that battle a little bit further back between Hot Lap Ron and the 17 of Mayer. This is the side-by-side battle now for third. And Bob, one thing that we didn't get to mention there in the very brief pre-race that we had is the fact that this racetrack actually has a little bit of variable banking, progressive banking, whatever you want to call it. The top side of the racetrack has more banking than the inside of the track. So if you're drivers like the number 14 there, Dylan Stipe, just trying to go to the outside of Mayer there, there's more banking up there. There's more grip, and that is going to allow you to make a move on that high line, even though the high line is the long way around the racetrack. You can really keep your momentum up there. It's a little bit of connection issues there for the number 14 machine. Just kind of blinks out for a second. And contact there between the 17 and the 14. And they're going to go around, and this should bring out the first caution flag of the night. And sure enough, it does.
Yeah, just some hard side-by-side racing between the 17 and the 14. Looks like either some maybe connection issue got us, or maybe the 17 just thought he was clear, but unfortunately the 14 was still there, and obviously the two of them running into the wall. Both teams still do have one fast repair remaining. It'll be interesting to see if these drivers elect to use it for this wreck, but we shall see as we get another look at this one.
Yeah, this is from high atop, and luckily I don't think these two have all too much damage. I mean, you can see the 14 kind of pinballing there off the wall, but I don't think they're going to have a lot of damage, and that's going to be good news for both of them, but they are going to lose a lot of track position. There you see the 17, and like I said, not a whole lot of damage on that race car, so that's the good news here tonight. We did have 19 starters, and you know, with those 19 starters, we might see quite a few caution flags here tonight. Of course, Bristol Motor Speedway, it is the last great Coliseum. And Bob, you know, if you come out of this racetrack without any damage on your cars, did you even really go to Bristol at all?
Yeah, no, that's definitely one of those things where coming out of a race in Bristol, you always have at least one ding, dent, scrape, scratch, some sort of issue with your car. And you know, that's one of the best parts about racing here at Bristol. It's no holds barred, really just kind of bare knuckle brawling in a fishbowl, and it's just absolutely fantastic racing.
We do have a couple takers on pit road. Here comes Garrett Gleason. We got Tristan Mayer as well as Billy Thornton all coming to their pit box. Gleason, his crew, is going to go to work here. Looks like maybe just a splash of fuel before he gets back out there on the racetrack. I'm sure Mayer here going to try and fix some of his damage. He's going to keep rolling now. So definitely going to be interesting to see once we go back green here very shortly. Of course, these caution flags tend to be pretty short here at the Bristol Motor Speedway due to the fact that, you know, the racetrack isn't very big. So these laps click by very quickly under green flag conditions as well as when we are under yellow. So that's the good news, but unfortunately under the first caution flag of the night. If you're just now joining us, big welcome to all of you. Sorry for a little bit of a late start here on 3 Wide TV. Anne-Marie is in the chat. Logie Bear, Ryder Leangle, too, going vroom. Yeah, I'll tell you what, one of my favorite things was I went to the Formula One Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas a couple of years ago, and there was a guy there who found one of the microphones, and so he started making car noises into the microphone. It's meow, meow, meow. Well, you guys can do the same thing at home. It's not going to make it onto the 3 Wide TV broadcast or anything like that, but I invite you to make your own vroom vroom noises here because we're about to vroom vroom them up because the pace car headed back down pit road here, Bob.
Yeah, so out of 4, here they come down to the line. Another great restart by the 4 of Jason Gracias, able to get the jump on Tony Lucarelli, and they're going to be side by side. Oh, Philip Scott thinking about putting his nose there to make it 3 wide, then thinks better of it, but the 20 of Jason Freeman coming out of nowhere, down on the inside, side by side, right next to Hot Lap Ron, and then a little bit further back, the 14 of Dylan Stipe, side by side there as well. Looks like the leaders are now able to keep things 3 wide and just going back to business. But right here, it's a fantastic battle. 4 cars side by side, double file. Looks like that's right around. Oh, and I believe that's 84. Matt Monticelli gets a little squirrely. And a couple more cars getting sideways through the back. Another big round of contact here as the caution flag is going to come out yet again.
Yeah, we're going to go back and see if we can catch a look and see what happened here because there was a lot going on. I think it all started with the number 84 machine, like you said, of Monticelli. He got loose coming out of turn number 4, and there's just no way to get your car slowed down in time. This racetrack, very, very short front stretch, and you can see the number 97 there of Tellier kind of getting collected. Now, the good news is, doesn't look like there is a whole lot of damage on these race cars, so we'll see if we can see here again what happened. We went back a little bit much, but keep an eye on the number 97 here because he's going to have the 84. Oh, there actually might have been a little bit of net code there off the 5 of Billy Thornton. And that's the number 55 of Steven Doziak right behind. And unfortunately, nowhere for Doziak to go but into the left rear of that number 97 machine. And that is going to bring out the second caution flag of the night here on 3 Wide TV. And unfortunately for Mike Floppy Teller, he started at the back. And I was just about to mention to you, Bob, that he started working his way up through the field, but now he's going to find himself on pit road to fix some of that damage.
Yeah, just a tough break there for the 97. Really had a great run going for him. Obviously still way early in the race where anything still can happen, but definitely a tough break early going there for the 97.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we can head over into the Total Nonstop Racing Discord. Let's see if we can pick up maybe one of these drivers. Let's see if we can pick up Jason Gracias, your current race leader. Hey, Jason, Peter Short in the 3 Wide TV booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear.
Well, I'll tell you what, bud. That big red machine has gotten out front. It definitely has a big red target on it this week for a lot of the field. What is it about Bristol that you enjoy racing at, or is this a racetrack you don't enjoy racing at?
Honestly, it's my first time driving Bristol on iRacing. I wasn't a fan of it on NR 2003, but Bristol and iRacing is a little bit different. In this car, at least, it makes sense. I tried the B car. I tried the A car. I don't like it there. So we'll see. So far, so good. Practice was kind of a handful. It's a high line track, so you're right on the edge. You hit the wall, you go sliding. So right now, I'm just trying to be mistake-free.
Yeah, tell the viewers that are watching right now how difficult it is to run the high line and not get into the outside wall, because it is a very fine line here around this racetrack, and that high line is the fastest line.
So, like, if you ever listen to a real driver give an interview and they say you're holding your breath when you do a whole lap, and I think Jeff Gordon said you don't blink, it's true. You're just intently focused. You're trying to make sure that you hit your marks. that you drift up, hit the apex perfect, and power through. So it's very nerve-wracking, to say the least.
All right. Well, the pace car lights have turned off here, Jason. Best of luck here in the rest of the race.
Thanks, and everyone at home. Hope you have fun.
All right. Well, Bob, you heard it right there from the number 4 machine himself, who is your current race leader, is that you have to hold your breath around this joint. I mean, you blink and you miss a lap at this track.
Yeah, I mean, these laps are so fast. These cars are so fast. And, I mean, really, we've seen all race long, even though we're, 18 laps in, one little tiny mistake could really stack up the entirety of the field. So you really have to hold your breath and keep that wheel steady as the green flag is out. And Jason Gracias looks to jump ahead once more as they dive down into turn number 1.
Yeah, that number 4 once again out to a pretty darn good lead. There's the number 20 right there of Jason Freeman right behind him. Hot Lap Ron now going to fall back to third, your pole sitter here. And then look at this battle a little bit further back. That's Dave Harvey. But as I say that, Hot Lap Ron going to try and use that low line to get past the number 20 machine, unable to do so. And this is what I was talking about, folks. The variable banking here, the progressive banking, makes it very difficult to make a pass on the inside line, especially as your tires start to wear. That outside line, especially with these cars, because these cars don't have a lot of horsepower like the Cup cars or the Xfinity cars or even the trucks. These cars don't have a lot of horsepower. So if you're down there on the bottom, you lose all that momentum that you keep when you run up there on the top side of the racetrack. Was that a car that I saw off the racetrack? It was. Matt Monticelli in the number 84 headed down pit road. He's currently 1 lap down because of that. Don't see a whole lot of damage on that number 84 truck. Has anyone seen Kenny? That's what he's got on the side of that number 84. But hopefully he can get back out there on the racetrack, as it looks like we have a possible battle for the race lead as the 20th Freeman caught the 4, but a big wiggle there coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, just got really squirrely there coming out of 4, a little bit too hot coming off the banking. And like you had mentioned all race long, Peter, that this banking, with it being variable, you have to be careful of coming down off the banking, different angles. You don't want to get your car sideways coming out of the corner, as we've seen a lot in practice. Guys just kind of losing it. Speaking of losing it, the 52 got into the wall pretty hard there, but he looks like he's going to continue racing.
Yeah, that's Hot Lap Ron Chicky, your pole sitter. We're going to see quite a few cars, I think, here tonight over the race, as we have a side-by-side battle up at the front. Looks like that's going to calm down briefly. Might open the door, actually, for Hot Lap Ron to get to the right rear quarter panel of Freeman. Not able to do so. But going back to that point, I think we're going to see a lot of cars flirt with that outside wall and just throw up some sparks. That's all they're going to do here tonight. If you're on that high line, the good news is you just don't have a lot of room to go to hit that wall, so there's not a lot of impact energy, I would call it. So the cars will throw up some sparks. Yeah, they'll damage up the right side, but these are short track cars. They have a little bit extra in them to, kind of thwart the situation. And there you go. That's a lot of impact energy right there as Hot Lap Ron Chicky goes around in front of the number 20 machine. That's not what I was talking about, folks. I was kind of saying, oh man, if they just kind of bounce off the wall, no big deal. But this is a pretty hard hit for Hot Lap Ron.
Yeah, definitely not the kind of damage you'd see at a Darlington stripe, but man, it looks like just two guys in the wrong place at the wrong time. 20 was coming up off the banking, 52 was coming down off the wall, and just a little bit of a meeting of the minds there.
Yeah, let's see this one from our high angle camera. Well, this will get a little bit better. Let's see if we can go into slow motion here, because you see the 20th Freeman get the wall like I was mentioning, but when he bounces off the wall, he comes straight down, catches the right rear quarter panel of Hot Lap Ron. And look at the 8 and the 77 here doing a fantastic job of avoiding this accident. You can see Philip Scott going down there. Oh man, the 77 there, that was a stellar wreck avoidance by Dave Harvey. Let's see if we can go back and go on board with the number 77 machine. This is going into turn number 3. Watch this all unfold right in front of him. You can see the 8 of Philip Scott. There's the now he can't see a thing right now. Gets on the brakes. Here's his spotters say, check up. And watch this. Whoa. Just barely misses the back end of that number 52 machine. Very, very close up at the front. But we're going to go back live here, and the number 4 of Jason Gracias continues to lead. But it's a couple of Jasons up at the front right now. And what's Freeman going to do? Is he thinking about pitting here? No, he's going to stay out there on the racetrack. But Bob, let's see if we can catch a word with Mr. Freeman right here. Take it away.
Jason Freeman, Bob Giaquinto up here in the 3-Wide TV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
All right, Jason. Well, little bit of a coming together between you and the 52 machine. What had happened there?
Yeah, I just got over the edge there and got in the wall, and I was just trying to ride the wall around. It seems like as soon as we got off turn 4 there, the car just snapped loose on me, trying to get back down off the wall. I did not mean that at all. It feels terrible for Ron.
And you know, we've seen this all race long, where guys, obviously everyone running the high line on the track, and how thin is that line of, you know, coming off the turn, the car wanting to snap loose, you trying to have to, you know, basically white knuckle on the wheel to keep it going in the straight line. How tough is that?
It's pretty tough. I mean, I seem to run a different line than some of the other guys. I kind of enter high and try to arc it back down off, but I'm not I think that's also using my tires up a little more, so let's see what this next run does and see what happens.
Yeah, just a couple more laps until the stage break. Obviously, stage break coming at lap 40. Saw a great battle between you and Jason Gracias for the lead. You think he got a little bit more before the stage break?
I'm not sure. I'm just going to ride here and try to take care of my car. He got in the wall that one time. That's the only reason I got underneath of him there, but I knew I wasn't going to clear him, so just tucked back in behind him.
Fair enough. All right, Jason, we'll let you get back to racing. Good luck for the rest of the race.
All right, well, Bob, you heard it again, that this racetrack is very, very difficult to get around, and, you know, those types of things happen here. This is a fast racetrack. It's the fastest half mile in the world here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So when things happen, they happen very fast. A big props to both the 8 and the 77 for avoiding that and making it any worse, because once things start to snowball here in an accident, they can get bad very fast. I've seen an entire field wadded up in turn number 1 before here at Bristol Motor Speedway in iRacing. So hopefully we don't see that here tonight. But speaking of racing, we're about to go back to green as that Ford Mustang pace car going to hit pit road once more. And the number 4, Jason Gracias, is going to lead us back to green. And once again, big jump for that big red number 4 machine as he heads off into turn number 1.
Yeah, now Jason Freeman down low, right next to Gracias, side by side. A little bit of contact as they head down through turn number 3. Freeman on the inside, Gracias on the outside. But here comes Dave Harvey coming right down the middle. He's going to take second position, or at least battle next to the 20 for second position coming out of turn number 2. He does get it, and now Harvey's going to set his sights on the 4 of Jason Gracias.
Yeah, he's just going to send it down, and there's contact, and the 4 machine's in the wall, and the caution flag waves due to the break here. And, man, that might have been a little bit of Rebens racing there.
Yeah, just a little bit of, you know, the chrome horn or chrome side door, if you will, as Dave Harvey able to jump out in front, and I believe this will be counted as the end of the stage, so Dave Harvey gets those coveted 3 bonus points.
And, folks, I'm trying to see if anything happened here because we have one car sitting on pit road, and there was an accident. Speaking of getting wadded up in turn number 1, look at this one, and oh man, that's what I was talking about. Commentator's curse right there, and boy, oh boy, that was a big accident. Let's see if we can go back and dissect this. This is going to act as the stage break. I think it happened up around Dylan's Stipe. Let's see if we can roll the tape here. Coming out of the corner. Oh, there's contact between the 41 and the 14. And look at that. The 97 piles in. The 83 piles in. That's Austin Grover. Things just happening way, way fast here. Let's see if we can see this from high atop the blimp cam. This is going off into turn number 1 and 2. And Bob, I'm going to slow this down, kind of talk the fans through this one.
Yeah, so it looks like coming out of 4, Stipe had a huge run. The 41 just on the inside there. Stipe on the outside. 41, I guess, thought he must have been cleared. And a couple of guys come together, but further back in the pack, this all happened so fast, like we've been saying all day. 1797 and the 83 all just going to plow right into the wreck. And really nowhere to go for all these drivers. And a shame to see a lot of guys getting torn up this early in the race.
And I mean, that's exactly kind of as I said, that you can have exactly that happen kind of in a blink of an eye here at this racetrack. And luckily for Dave Harvey, he's your current race leader. Now, I'm not 100% sure Jason Gracias might be too happy with that. A little bit of Rubbins racing at that point of the race. But, Bob, this is Bristol. There are stage points on the line, and these drivers, they want to get every single point they can and the possibility of winning a championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like we said in the pre-race, there's only 2 races left, including this one, before we hit the playoffs. The top 5 drivers in the series will be making the playoffs. And coming into tonight's race, Jason Gracias, Jason Freeman, Philip Scott, Mike Tellier, and Tristan Mayer are our top 5 in points. So really every point counts for all of these drivers. And as we saw there, maybe a little bit of a nudge to the back of Dave Harvey.
Yeah, so these drivers will come around to complete lap number 40, 110 more laps to go here tonight as they all work their way around. We got a couple of cars headed down pit road there on the right-hand side of your screen. Garrett Gleason, Austin Grover, as well as the number 97 of Mike Tellier. Now, it'll be interesting to see here how many of these drivers will elect to use their fast repairs. The flagman very prematurely gets the green flag ready as the pace car lights have turned off. He's going to have to be pretty bored there holding that green flag out. There is the number 97, Mike Tellier. Looks like he's used as fast repair. A bit surprised with that. Looks like the 83 of Austin Grover also electing to use a fast repair. Maybe those cars were just too torn up to stay out there on the racetrack. But the pace car headed down pit road. We're about to get set to go back to green. And Dave Harvey, your race leader in that Hisense Toyota Camry.
Man, what a fantastic restart there from Dave Harvey. Looks like the Jason Gracias school of restarts is, man, what a huge jump he got coming out of turn number 4. But the rest of the field coming in quick, and looks like, wow, the 44 Kyle Givishausen moving up here, and a couple more comers and goers here as we start stage number 2.
Yeah, who are you going to call? Kyle Givishausen right now. He's sporting a Ghostbusters scheme here tonight. Of course, Halloween is this weekend. Great to see him. As you see, the 17 of Mayer on pit road. He's 6 laps down. Looks like Fernando Matos in the 71 machine is also possibly called it a night. We watched the 44 of Gevishausen. Nothing happening in front of him as Dylan Stipe in that 14 machine on the inside. Going to try and take away that spot for now. Unable to do so just yet. And that outside line holding strong. Look at that 44, just barely staying off that outside line. He's going to lose that spot here and now fall into the clutches, of Vincent Valvano in the Valvoline Chevrolet. There he is working his way through turn number 1 and 2. Let's see if we can get an onboard ride with this number 38 machine around, because I'll tell you what here, Bob, this racetrack, I know we've talked about how quick you flash by the start-finish line and how quick these laps click by, but folks, try and figure out which one's the back stretch and which one's the front stretch. Sometimes they kind of blur together.
Yeah, that's for sure. And for these drivers, especially when you're trying to figure out where you're pitting under caution, obviously it's easy. You enter in coming out of turn number 2, you exit coming out of turn number math. It's been a long day. But for green flag pit stops, you just go down your pit stall or you go down your pit road, and man, it's got to be tough for these drivers to say, okay, I just crossed the start finish line and pitting on the backstretch. I think I have to come in here, and a lot of pit miscues happen here at this track.
And we're keeping an eye on this. They were almost 4 wide here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll get one more look at this one. You don't see 4 wide at Bristol all too often, and they almost thought about it there. Unfortunately, the 44 machine there, Gevishausen getting into the outside wall. He's going to continue to slide back after that heavy contact. That was hot lap Ron Chicky also sneaking his way through. He's trying to get underneath Billy Thornton, winner of one race this season, the opening race at Eldora. In fact, look at Ron Chicky. He's going to get past the number 41 of Lucarelli here and move hot lap Ron back up into the 6th position.
Yeah, had a great qualifying effort, got tangled up in an issue with the 20 just before the stage break. Now he's starting to finally pick his way through the field. He's up the 6th right now, but taking a look now, we've got a little bit of a battle for the lead, a 3-way battle between Harvey, Gracias, and Freeman.
Yeah, and look at the number 4 of Gracias, going to drop down to the bottom, but is that going to open the door for the number 20 of Freeman? Yes, it will. The 4 just unable to get that run coming out of turn number 4. And look at Freeman. He's all over the back bumper of Harvey. He got a good run coming out of turn number 2. That's what you got to do. And then you just have to send it here into turn number 3. Unable to do so. And that inside line here still continuing to struggling. But we're starting to see some lap traffic up front. That's the number 22 of Stephen Kegman in the John Deere machine. He has to try and stay out of the way. Almost making contact there. That was almost big there, Bob, but luckily for Freeman, he was able to duck back in behind the 77 and have another stab at it as we close in on the halfway mark.
Man, just some tense moments there as the 22 was just trying to get out of the way of the leaders, and a great sportsmanlike play there by the 22, but unfortunately the 20 just kind of caught up in a wrong place, wrong time situation.
And Jason Freeman going to use the number 84 as a pick. That's Matt Monticelli who's damaging off the pace. And look at that. Jason Freeman very, very quickly got himself out front. And now Gracias going to sneak through up into second. Absolute disaster here for the 77 of Harvey because he's going to go from first all the way back to fourth right now because Dylan Stipe has also gotten by. But one thing I'm keeping an eye on, and we haven't really mentioned this because we've been watching the replays here, but Jason Freeman in that number 20, he's already made a pit stop. Same thing with Dylan Stipe. But the likes of Gracias and Harvey, both of those drivers have yet to come down pit road here. Oh, contact between the 4 and the 14. They're both hard into the wall. That will bring out the caution. And, oh, Ron Chicky involved. Just coming in there late. Oh, boy, here we go again. Bristol Motor Speedway rearing its big head. And we'll have to go back and see exactly what happened here. Similar to what we've seen here tonight, Bob. One car getting into the wall, coming off the wall, down into the 14. Good job there by Harvey once again sneaking on through. And look at Hot Lap Ron, as well as Matt Monticelli getting a chunk of it. Again, some heavily damaged race cars.
Yeah, and with the track like Bristol, it's one of those things where if one guy has a bad night, a lot of other guys are as well. As we get another replay there, it looks like the 4 just kind of got glued up to the wall, was able to get it off the wall, unfortunately got into the 14, and the 14 was just kind of a sitting duck in the middle of the track as the 52 came around and clipped off the front bumper of the 14 as we go on board with Chicky. And, oh, man, just a tough hit there on the right side of the 14 machine, and he's going to have to head down pit road to get some extensive damage repaired.
Yeah, and there is Dave Harvey. He's also coming down pit road. Jason Freeman right there in the 20, he's elected to stay out. That's most likely because he's already come down and made one pit stop here tonight. Same thing with a couple of these other cars. Ron Chicky, there he is coming down to make another pit stop. Tony Lucarelli's made a pit stop already. Steven Doziak in the 55 singular Dodge, kind of reminiscent of the Casey Atwood scheme that we saw back in 2001. There he is. He's now going to inherit a top 3 position as of right now. So good job by him so far. And let's keep an eye on the number 7 machine of Garrett Gleason. He is back on pit road. And let's see if we can possibly dial up Garrett Gleason for a quick word or two. Hey, Garrett Gleason, Peter Short, 3Y TV booth. You got a call?
Yes, sir, Peter. How's it going up there?
I'll tell you what, we're having a good time here tonight up here in the 3Y TV booth, but out there on the racetrack, man, it's Bristol. I got to say, the last great Coliseum, it's acting like a Coliseum so far here tonight. How's the number 7?
I actually think the number 7 has more speed in it this week than it normally does. I'm hoping for a long green flag run because I feel like that's what benefits me the most. It just seems like we can't get there. These guys are slip sliding all over the place. I hope there's good racing at least throughout the pack for our fans and you guys up in the booth to call.
Yeah, definitely been an interesting start to the race here tonight. Pretty much uncharacteristic of what we've seen so far this season in the Total Nonstop Racing League. But, a couple of these drivers mentioning how difficult of a setup it is. Tell us how difficult it is for you in the number 7 machine slip sliding around out there.
Oh, well, I didn't change tires until just now, but I know on fresh rubber it was definitely loose for maybe 2 laps. But other than that, I haven't had too much of a difficulty holding on to her. It just seems like in my mind, it's more about avoiding the other competitors than the setup at this point for me.
Absolutely. Well, the good news is you're about to get back to racing here because I believe everyone's going to double up here for the restart there. Best of luck, G.
Thanks. I hope to talk to you at the end. Maybe we get a top 5 and shock the world again.
Absolutely. Well, folks, that was Garrett Gleason and the number 7 machine. He is going to be restarting here just inside the top 10, I do believe. No, it's just outside the top 10 in the 11th position as live timing and scoring updates. But Tony, look around. And that number 41 and the 20 of Jason Freeman, they're going to lead us back to green here, Bob.
Yeah, side by side here. Pace car is off. The field coming out of turn number 4. A good clean restart. Here's the 20 of Jason Freeman, able to be shot out of a cannon, and he's going to take the 55 Dosiak with him. And down on the below him is the 97 of Mike Tellier. Side by side battle there for third between the 97 and the 41 of Tony Lucarelli. As the car we're on right now, Dosiak got slowed up just a little bit coming out of the corner. And now side by side here is a big battle for second place. And almost 3 wide. But Tony Lucarelli sees that and says, you know what, I'm gonna back out here. So 55 just kisses the wall here. And Peter, like we had mentioned earlier, as the caution flag actually is going to come out.
Yeah, caution flag is back in the air here. We're trying to see who it involves and see if I'll see if we can see. I think the 83 might have been involved back there. Let's see if we can dial up this replay right here. Here is the 83. Oh, yeah. Grover just got loose there. Oh, got a piece of Vinny Valvano. Looks like the 5, I believe Thornton might have clipped the wall. But I wonder if that's what Garrett Gleason was mentioning there, Bob, is that these cars are a little bit slippery when they are out there. And here we go on board with the 83 down on the inside line. And looks like it just kind of stepped out of him even before he clipped the apron. And there's Vincent Valvano just to kind of clean him off.
Yeah, just got a little bit squirrely there. And, like Garrett was saying, that these tires, when they're cold, they really don't have that much grip in them. So it takes a couple laps for them to get the heat into the tires. And, yeah, right there, coming out of 4, he was already a little sideways, then dove down into 1 and just kind of drifted it through. But unfortunately, got a piece of the 38. And around he went.
Yeah, and looks like he is going to come down pit road right behind the number 7 of Garrett Gleason, who is coming down on pit road again. So we've seen a lot of pit stops out of Garrett Gleason. I think this is his 3rd or 4th pit stop here in the early going of the race. But this has allowed Mike Tellier to get up into 2nd in the number 97 machine. He's made 4 pit stops himself. Let's see if we dial him up for a quick word here. Bob, why don't you take it away?
Hey, Mike Tellier, Bob Giaquinto up here in the 3-wide TV booth. You got a copy?
I do, Bob, I do.
All right, Mike. Well, it's been quite an eventful race for you, up and down throughout the field. Battled your way up through the pack earlier on, caught up in a couple of wrecks. It's been an interesting one for you so far tonight.
It is. I feel like a yo-yo.
It's one of those things where you started towards the back, qualifying lap, either the service didn't like the lap or whatever issue, started further back in the pack in 19th. Right now you're running in 2nd, had a couple incidents on the pack. How's the car treating you so far?
It hated me in qualifying. I crashed both laps, so that's why there was no lap. So I'm just trying to take it easy and make it to the finish. I wasn't expecting the car to be so loose tonight. It's crazy how loose it is here right now.
Yeah, we had just spoken with Garrett, and he had said that, first couple of laps on brand new tires, the car is just absolutely squirrely and sideways. But once it gets some heat in the tires, it likes to get at least a little bit more grip. But how tough is it just kind of riding this car on razor's edge going through this field?
It's pretty tough. You got to pick and choose when to go and hope it's the right line. Like sometimes I pass people down low and just happen to roll the bottom better. Sometimes I had to pass guys up top. It's just been a pick your lane and hope it works type of night.
All right, Mike. Looks like you guys are set up, getting ready to go back racing. We'll let you go too. Good luck the rest of the way.
Have me, guys.
All right, well, that is the number 97 of Mike Floppy Tellier sitting there in the 2nd position here for this restart. And we are about to go back to green flag action. Jason Freeman, he's been getting some fantastic restarts in the Mason-Dixon Cornhole Chevrolet. And once again on the lap pedal nice and early. And he's going to clear the number 97 before they get to turn number 1. And just like that, Jason Freeman going to reassert himself as the race leader. There's the rest of the pack. Now, one driver we haven't really mentioned here tonight, Bob, but he's quietly snuck his way up inside the top 10 is the number 35, the Fruity Pebbles machine right there, Joe Heater. good run for him so far, and I gotta say, I really like the look of that number 35 machine. And look at those bright green wheels. You can't miss them.
Exactly, and that's fantastic for the broadcast crew as well as the rest of the drivers. Oh, as the 55 got into the wall a little bit, it's fantastic for us because we can really see that car out on the track. We'll say, oh, there's the 35, bright green rims, and he's had a very quiet and uneventful day, and for a race at Bristol, that's never a bad thing.
And up at the front, how about this? A lead change. Mike Floppy Tellier just took the race lead. We'll see if we can go back and see what happened here. This is coming down the front stretch. Did the 20 get into the outside wall? Oh, yes, he did. He got into the outside wall. That opened the door for Mike Tellier. And look at Philip Scott. He was thinking about sticking his nose up there. And Tellier going to get to the front. Look at the 77 there of Harvey. It took a while for this all to get sorted out. Oh, contact there between the 8 and the 20. And just like that, now the number 8 of Philip Scott, he's going to have to drop back through the field. But that happened just a couple of laps ago. And now, looking back live, the number 8 of Philip Scott, he's finally found a spot back there in 6th. He's actually got a decent advantage now over Jason Gracias, and the number 4 is trying to work his way back up through the field. There he is right in front of the number 38 of Vincent Valvano. Don't think the number 4 has elected to use that fast repair just yet, but all this madness has allowed the number 97 of Mike Floppy Tellier to take the race lead, as we have now gotten past the halfway mark into the second half of tonight's race here in the Total Nonstop Racing League here on 3 Wide TV, Bob.
Yeah, right now, knock on wood, looks like things are starting to be at least a little more fanned out. A couple of lead lap battles here, obviously, for the lead. Further back now, the 8 of Philip Scott looking to the inside of Billy Thornton. And he's going to try to take a look here as they go through turn number 3, coming out of 4. Down the front straightaway, side by side here. What a fantastic battle here. And we were talking to Philip Scott earlier before the race, and he had said that the wall here at Bristol is very much like glue. Once you get in the wall, it's very hard to get off. And we've seen that throughout the night, where the wreck between the 4 and the 14, the 20 and the 52, a lot of these wrecks were caused because the cars were stuck almost up into the wall, had to slide it sideways as we have a car going around. Let's see, 84, and the 77 got into him as well. So caution flag will come out, and let's take a look at the replay here to see what happened.
Yeah, we are here taking a look at this, and really the whole field caught the number 84 at the wrong spot. They tried to go 4 wide, and then it just stacked up. Oh, man, Lucarelli getting into the back of the 55. Same thing with Billy Thornton. And that is just wrong place, wrong time to catch some lap traffic. We'll go back and, of course, get another look at this one. Coming out of the corner, here we go. Folks, again, you don't often see 4 wide here at Bristol. It never works out, and there a little bit of contact, maybe even a little bit of neck code there between the 84 and the 97. And a look at that 41 just piling in there. And unfortunately, the Billy Thornton looks like he got a chunk of it as well. But tough break there for the 77 of Harvey, because he has had an absolute stellar night, and you can see quite a bit of damage. We'll get one more look at this one down the back stretch here, Bob, but really nowhere for Harvey to go.
Yeah, nowhere to go. He had a fantastic run on the 20, and unfortunately the 84 was just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, kept his line, unfortunately got contact between both the 97 and the 20, getting them sideways. 77 had nowhere to go, and that'll be that. The 77, if he hasn't used his fast repair yet, is more likely than not going to have to use it right now, as we're just over halfway into this race.
Yeah, you see a bunch of cars coming down pit road. Your pole sitter, hot lap Ron Chicky, Dave Harvey. Looks like the 55 Doziak. We also got Vincent Valvano, Kyle Givishausen, and I think that's Austin Grover, the car at the very back of that group there. Somehow, some way, it does look like Billy Thornton in the number 5 machine is actually going to be able to stay out there. And got to give a big shout out to Billy Thornton, because as you can see in the top left-hand corner of your screen, Thornton Graphix and the DRP Indoor Off-Road Racing in Old Forge, Pennsylvania are both sponsors here of the Total Nonstop Racing League. And that number 5 machine has both on the hood and on the rear deck lid there and the sides of that race car. He's looking with a pretty good run here, 5 for 5. He's in the 5th position as of right now, and looking for win number 2 on the season. Good-looking hot rod. And I got to give a huge shout out to Thornton Graphix. There's a link in the description. Just hit the Show More button underneath the iRacing logo, and you'll be able to go to both the DRP Indoor Off-Road Racing. If you're close to Old Forge, Pennsylvania, and you're interested in going to check them out, make sure you click that link, as well as if you need any graphics, go check out Thornton Graphix, because they can hook you up with all the graphics you might ever need. Definitely a big friend here of the Total Nonstop Racing League. Meanwhile, field continuing to pace around there behind the iRacing pace car, but its lights have turned off after this collision. Let's bring up the race summary now that we're in the second half portion of the race. You see the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, 8 lead changes, 7 cautions for 34 laps, and the fastest lap, hot lap Braun, who else? There in the number 52 machine.
Yeah, really just a fantastic race so far. 7 cautions, obviously, something we want to see that number a little bit lower, but hey, it's Bristol, baby. A lot of guys getting into it with each other, into the wall. And, like we were saying earlier in this race, if you leave this track with a car that's perfect and pristine, did you really race here at Bristol? Green flag is out now, as Mike Tellier has a great lead, drives down into turn number 1. Following him is the 20 of Jason Freeman, and then Tony Lucarelli, who was involved in that last accident, he elected to stay out. And Lucarelli now in 3rd, Philip Scott in 4th, and look at that, Jason Gracias now in 5th after getting caught up in a wreck earlier in the race, able to chew his way through traffic and through caution flags, and now he's having himself a pretty decent run so far in the 5th place.
Yeah, he's trying to close up into the back of Philip Scott. Remember, Philip Scott was in the inside wall not too long ago. So a couple of these drivers kind of going through the wars here tonight, including Mike Tellier, who's your current race leader. There he is, Jason Freeman there in 2nd. Lucarelli leading this little train of cars as Jason Freeman catches the wall again, and contact! And the 8 machines going around here on the front stretch, and that's going to bring out another caution, very similar to one that we saw earlier here tonight. Where it looked like the number 20 just got into the outside wall just a little bit. Let's dial up this replay right here. There he is in the outside wall, comes down right into the 44, and just catches the back end of the number 8 machine.
Yeah, a hard hit there by the 20 machine, but man, what a great job saving by Philip Scott, able to slide the car around, do a quick little 360, and man, somehow he was not able to get into the wall, which is fantastic for the Philip Scott fans in our audience right now.
Yeah, we're just trying to line up another replay here for you folks. Unfortunately, the replay, I clicked the button one too many times. So let's go back and see this restart. So there's the number 20 in front. He was able to just kind of scoot away from the number 41, who we ride on board with now. And just keep an eye, because he's gonna wallow up into the outside wall here shortly. And you can see, man, he got a really good start in that number 20, and then he just barely missed the wall. Then he's just flirting with it in that number 20 machine, just waiting for it to come out and grab onto him. They're again getting really close. Remember, one thing he mentioned, Bob, was that he's running a slightly different line than a couple of other drivers, and there, it just caught him. And then nowhere for the 41 to go. Now, luckily for Lucarelli, he was able to kind of weave his way through that one. And, kind of just luckily able to sneak on through. But let's go back one more time and just get a slightly better look at this one.
Yeah, and really that slightly different angle by the 20. It looks like he's doing a pseudo diamond where he's entering the high line just a little bit lower, maybe even just a tire length lower, lets the car kind of sweep up towards the apex of the corner, and then he dives down a little bit lower on exit to try to get a little bit better of a run. And aside from getting in the wall there, that line really has been working pretty well for Jason Freeman as this race moves on.
If you're in the 3-Wide TV chat, looks like we did have a request for a quick interview with Philip Scott. I apologize. I just had to refresh my page for the chat. So I was thinking that it was a very quiet night in the chat, but we will get Philip Scott for an interview here shortly, because it seems like the caution flags are coming out. So stick around for the Philip Scott interview, but the pace car lights, they are still on. But I do want to get a full interview with the driver of the number 8 machine, especially after that damage. There he is. Good news is for the Philip Scott fans is he's back out there on the racetrack, and doesn't look like all too much damage. He actually might have used a faster pair on that race car because it's looking nice and square on all the four corners. So that's the good news in the National Ninja League. And definitely great news coming out of Philip Scott. Not great news there as he has a little bit of connection issues, but great news coming out of the National Ninja League that they're going international and getting a gym in Italy set up. So that is pretty cool news, and looks like he's continuing to struggle with some connection issues, but we'll make sure to dial him up under the next caution flag here shortly. Anne-Marie saying Philip is using his ninja moves. Yeah, I'll say so, as he just did a little bit of a 360. In fact, did a good job there of not making matters any worse when he did get spun around, Bob. But speaking of getting spun around, we're about to spin these things up because we're about to go back green.
Yeah, side by side here as that Ford Mustang pace car is getting ready to dip below down onto pit road as the 97 of Mike Tellier and the 41 of Tony Lucarelli bring it to the green flag. That's back in the air, and the 97 takes a huge jump going into turn number 1. Right behind him is the 4 of Jason Gracias. He had another fantastic restart. He started down in around 4th or 5th position, able to make a bunch of positions up. Now he's in 2nd, Tony Lucarelli in 3rd, Billy Thornton, and that Thornton Graphix machine is in 5th. A little further back in the field right now, taking a look at the 35 of Joe Heater. He's having a great run, as is the 55 of Steven Dosiak.
Yeah, and look at this gaggle of cars as there is Joe Heater getting swallowed up by the number 52. There was a little bit of contact there with Hot Lap Ron Chicky, and whoa, almost contact a little bit further back as well. So all of a sudden, we mentioned Joe Heater's name, and all of a sudden it ends up like a pinball bouncing across the racetrack as the 84. Was he making some evasive maneuvers there of Monticelli? Not 100% sure. Here comes the 44 right there. Geveshausen trying to get underneath Joe Heater. So Heater in trouble here. Not sure if he's on older tires or what the deal is, but he seems like he's just getting gobbled up by the whole field as they're now 3 wide behind him. Look at the number 8 there, Philip Scott. He is on the lead lap trying to work his way through all this mess as we're now only 50 laps to go. He's going to get around Heater, but Heater here really struggling in that Fruity Pebbles Chevrolet.
Yeah, you know, it's a broadcaster's curse yet again. We were saying that he was having a fairly quiet and uneventful race, and, well, now look at what happened as we take a look further up in the field. Here's the 55 of Steven Dosiak, and as well as Jason Freeman. He's looking to go around the 83 of Austin Grover. Some side-by-side action here as we come out of turn number 2.
Yeah, and he is currently running in the 6th position, but, folks, look who that is running in the 5th. That's a commentator's curse. If I've ever seen it, that is a commentator's curse. Right there. Because I was just about to mention, look who was running in 5th spot. And it was this man right here. Garrett Gleason, who now has a broken left front suspension. And I'm sure he's absolutely kicking himself in the Rocky and Bullwinkle. Not sure if he's Rocky or if he's Bullwinkle right now, but he's going to have to get that race car to pit road here because he's about to get swallowed up by the field, and it won't be all too long. Yeah, he's coming to pit road this time. Man, commentator's curse right there. I was speechless, and it looks like he's going to miss the pit road entrance here. So things going from bad to worse with Garrett Gleason. Yeah,
Garrett's certainly having a more of a rocky finish to this race here. 44 laps to go, but man, he was having such a great run. Another guy that really been fairly uneventful in this race, but unfortunately broadcaster's curse gets to him yet again. Sideways, got into the inside wall. I'm a little surprised that there wasn't a caution, but he was able to keep his car going in the right direction, although plenty of left front damage here as we follow along the 4 of Jason Gracias.
Man, yeah, I just I don't know what to say. A tough break there, Garrett. I just need to shut up. There's the number 20 machine of Jason Freeman right there working his way around the racetrack. He's now in 2nd. Gracias really pulling away here in the number 4 machine. He's got himself out to a pretty nice lead right now, 1.1 seconds. There's Lucarelli, who's sitting in 3rd, trying to get around Joe Heater. A little bit tight there coming out of turn number 2. and into turn number 3 now. Mike Floppy Tellier, he's fallen back to 4th in the number 97. I'm sure he's happy to be in the top 5 after having a very difficult qualifying session. And Hot Lap Ron, your pole sitter here tonight, he's worked his way back up into the top 5. And what about Dave Harvey right there in the 77? He's trying to bounce back with that car having a little bit of rear end damage. Billy Thornton running in 7th right there. And behind him, there's a battle here between Austin Grover, Steven Doziak, and Vincent Valvano. A couple of B's right here, all swarming coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, just a big old gaggle of cars here side by side battling it out for position here. And oh man, Vinny Valvano looking to go inside the sides better of it. And now the lap car of Joe Heater, little just holding up the 38th there, but there's Doziak going to the inside of the 5 of Billy Thornton. And now here's Ninja Philip Scott making a move here. He's going to pick up the 8th position.
Slicing and dicing his way up through the field right now in that number 8 National Ninja League Chevrolet. And finally, a caution flag has come out. So we'll see exactly what this is for here. I'm not seeing anything just yet out there on the racetrack. Well, let's see. This must have been a very quick accident when something did happen. I'm wondering if maybe it might have been related to maybe the 7 who was still out there on the racetrack with being slow and off the pace. I think that's actually what the caution is for. I'm still not seeing anything happen out there on the racetrack. So wait, hold on. Yes, there was something that went down. Yep, it couldn't elude me. After all that, here we go. This is Hot Lap Ron and Mike Floppy Tellier, and coming together there. Look at the 77 of Dave Harvey just squeaking his way through there. We're going to have to get another look at this one from high atop the blimp cam to really break down what happened here in this accident. And why don't you take us through this one? We'll get another look at here shortly. But man, that's some pretty hefty contact there. And look at the 77 just squeaking through.
Man, great wreck avoidance there by the 77 just to get around these two, but it looks like there the 52 thought he might have been clear. Unfortunately, had the 97 right there on his outside, and just wheel to wheel here coming out of turn 2. And yeah, just the 52 had a great run going, thought he would clear the 97. Unfortunately for him, the 97 was still there, and well, those two cars had a little interaction with the wall yet again.
Yeah, and now the big question is how many of these drivers elected to come down pit road here? Doesn't look like any of your leaders elected to come down pit road, so that's a little bit of an interesting situation. Steven Doziak in the 55 doesn't look like he elected to come down pit road. We'll bring up the pit info there at the top of your screen so you can actually see now, folks, when these drivers were last on pit road. And just disregard the test up there. It is a new feature that we actually have here on 3Wide TV, that we can actually put stuff up there. So we're going to be using that throughout the rest of the season. But, just disregard the thing that says test. Yes, it works. This has been a test of the, not the emergency alert system, but a test of the 3Wide TV alert system right there at the top of the screen, and it works. Just pretend you're hearing the beeps right now as it disappears here, because the green flag going to be waving here shortly. 31 laps to go when we go back green here, and it looks like Jason Freeman, Steven Doziak, Austin Grover, Philip Scott, a couple of cars up at the front. They stayed out. It's going to be interesting to see how this all gets sorted out, because I've been noticing that tires appear to be pretty important here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've seen a lot of comers and goers here in this race. Guys with brand new, fresh tires seem to really enjoy slicing and dicing through the field. Guys on old tires are really screaming they want some fresh tires out there and sliding all over the track and falling back quickly. So, 32 laps to go. This could definitely be the money stop here as they're getting ready to go green.
Yep, green flag back in the air. Sorry for you folks. I promised you an interview with Philip Scott. We'll get that here shortly. Jason Freeman in the number 20 machine going to get out front. Steven Doziak up into second. And what about Philip Scott? He's trying to get one of those 3 wide TV interviews the hard way by finishing on the podium. And here comes Jason Gracias in the number 4 machine as there's issues out in the back. That's the number 84 machine right there. Another big stack up. And whoa, the 44 in the wall as well. Man, Bristol is not treating some of these drivers well here tonight.
Yeah, Bristol just really hungry now for sheet metal as cars just sliding all over the place, getting to the wall. Oh, some more contact there, but it looks like more of a Bristol stripe than a really hard wreck there. I believe that was the 97 who had gotten into the wall just a little bit, but now we're following on the blimp cam of the leader, the 20 of Jason Freeman, jumping out to a 0.9 second lead, now a little over 1 second as he drives down into turn number 3.
Yeah, that number 20 machine is on rails right now, but Jason Gracias, oh, Doziak in the wall in the number 55 singular Dodge. Man, this number 4 machine, he was one of the drivers who did come down pit road. He has sliced and diced his way up through the top 5, now up into second. 27 laps, to run down your race leader is Doziak again flirting with the turn 4 wall. And here comes Philip Scott in the number 8. He's going to try and get back up into the 3rd position. He just got passed a little bit ago by Jason Gracias. But I'll tell you what here, Bob. We're going to go on board here with this number 4 machine because look at this gap. 1 second the last time by. Gracias 0.3 of a second faster than Jason Freeman.
Yeah, really just some fantastic racing here. Gracias able to pull up some time on Freeman, so this is really going to be another fantastic Jason versus Jason battle that we've seen pretty much all season long. Our 2 points leaders heading into this race, Gracias over Freeman by, well, just about 12 points. So really a fantastic battle here as the yellow flag comes out.
Yeah, yellow flag is in the air, and it's one of the drivers that we've seen have some recent issues. The number 55 machine of Steven Doziak looks like he might have been involved in this. Let's see if we can go back and roll the tape and see exactly what happened here, because he's right in front of the number 8 of Philip Scott going off into the corner. Did he get into the wall? I don't know. 3 wide coming out of the corner, and oh yeah, the 55 got into the wall, bounced off the wall, oh, right down to the Valvano. Mike Tellier is completely junked. The front end flies up on that race car. And, oh, man, we're going to have to go to the blimp cam, I think, to sort this one out as well. Here we go. Going off into the corner, Bob. That number 41 down there, Lucarelli, was absolutely on rails on those fresh tires.
Yeah, man, what a great run the 41 had, able to get around both the 8 and the 55. But unfortunately, the 55 got sideways into the wall, collecting the 8, 38, 52, 97. Man, I feel like at this point, it's easier to see who wasn't involved in the wreck than really to count out who was. Because, man, a couple of guys just really getting together some hard collisions here coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, here we go on board with Mike Floppy Tellier. Look at how fast this track just gets blocked. And there is that front hood saying hello, because that definitely not how Mike Tellier wanted to possibly end his day, because I believe he's already used his fast repair. Now we're going to get a little bit of a cool look here at this one here. This is the turn 3 cam, and watch this carnage just go down. And man, the 52 almost going up and over. There's the number 38 of Vincent Valvano, who got a hefty chunk of that one. So definitely a lot of cars here, unfortunately, wadded up, including the number 8 machine of Philip Scott. Let's see if we can get a quick word with the man, Philip Scott. And of course, we were just talking about how he might get himself a top 3 and a 3-wide TV interview the hard way with a top 3 finish. But now Philip Scott sitting on pit road. This is Peter Short. You got a copy, Philip?
Yeah, 10-4.
A lot of damage on that race car. Looks like you don't have a fast repair left to use, but you got 4 fresh tires on it. Is it driving straight?
Yeah, it's driving fine. I actually am not using my fast repair yet. I only had like a minute 20 of optional repairs, so I assume it's just cosmetic, and you know how Bristol is. So I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm hoping for another caution. I took tires. I'm just gonna ride at the back and save, or try to ride at the back, because sometimes when you get in the middle of it, then you just want to just keep on moving forward. But yeah, I'm just gonna save my tires. The car seems to be driving fine, so yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, definitely. You looked nice and fast here tonight, and you definitely had a lot of pace here You know, how far do you think you can make it up through the field here in the final 18 laps?
Hopefully I can get back up to about top 5 or 3. I just want to, just keep on being consistent, keep on having some good finishes. I really want to win. That's why I was like, I've been trying some risky moves because I just really want to win this. But yeah, whatever happens, happens. I'll give it hell.
All right, well, folks, we'll let Philip Scott get back to it because the green flag here is about to wave here. And it's going to be the number 20 of Jason Freeman who's going to get us back underway.
Yeah, battle of Jason's here on the front rows. The green flag is in the air. Jason Freeman on the inside. Jason Gracias on the outside. Freeman with a fantastic start as he's going to get the jump down into turn number 1. But Gracias still holding tight there. Oh, sideways coming out of 2. The 20 of Jason Freeman. That's going to open the door for the 4 and the 41 to make some progress here on him as he leads this lap.
And remember, the number 4 machine was really closing in on the number 20, just 17 laps to go. And again, a Jason versus Jason battle as they're catching up to the lap car of Doziak, who goes into the outside wall trying to stay out of the way of these leaders, and almost contact there between the 4 and the 20. This is good stuff. 15 laps to go, this time by just 7.5 miles around this racetrack. And look at Tony Lucarelli in the 41 machine. Almost contact between the 2 there down the front stretch. Just Rubbins racing at this point. It's checkers or wreckers here in the Total Nonstop Racing League, and Tony Lucarelli going to try and take that second spot. Can he get to the back bumper of Jason Freeman here? This is good stuff with 14 laps to go.
Man, absolutely nowhere to go there for the 41 of Lucarelli. He had a run on the 20, but unfortunately he was just kind of pinned up against the wall between he and the 4. And man, just some fantastic, clean side-by-side racing for the lead at Bristol. And of course, as I say that, the commentator's curse. And the 4 and the 41 get into the wall, and the yellow flag comes out yet again.
Man, we have been on a tear here tonight with the commentator's curse. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen the commentator's curse in effect like it is tonight. It is Halloween week. It's spooky. And there you see Jason Gracias and Tony Lucarelli both getting into one another. And again, this is just one of those Bristol things. Like, it's one of those things where the number 4 is trying to come up the racetrack. The number 41 has a run. And just to coming together. Let's see this one more time. The number 4 right down there on the inside groove, just trying to wash up the racetrack, thinks he's clear. No, he's not. And just kind of gets turned. And Lucarelli, man, that's a heavy, heavy, heavy hit with the inside wall. And again, they have a coming together, just like ping pong balls pinging off one another. They are definitely going to be a little bit worse for wear after all is said and done here tonight, Bob.
Yeah, and it's such a shame. The 41 of Lucarelli has had a fantastic race so far. Gotten a couple incidents here and there, but really just kind of an innocent bystander in those incidents. And man, it's tough to see a guy like that get involved in a wreck so late here in the race. And we'll see how things pan out for him with the restart coming with under 10 laps to go.
Hey, look, at the top of the screen, it no longer says test. It says Total Nonstop Racing League. How about that, folks? It works. I promise you. 10 laps to go now, though. Back under caution. We'll bring up the race summary if you're just now joining us here on 3Y TV. We've had 11 cautions here tonight for 52 laps through 140 of the scheduled 150. 10 lead changes, though, and that man that we're looking at right there, the number 52, Hot Lap Ron Chicky, not only was your pole sitter, but he's had the fastest lap here tonight. In fact, I think he's bettered that fastest lap since the last time we looked at this race summary. So that number 52 definitely knows how to get the job done here tonight. And keep an eye on the top of the screen, folks, because we have been mentioning how important tires are. And that number 52, who's right behind the number 20, he's got a little bit fresher rubber right there. Freeman, 46 laps since he was on pit road. Ron Chicky, only 11 laps since he came down pit road. And look at who's sitting in 4th, folks. That is Philip Scott, who was involved in that accident not too long ago. And we have seen that outside line is the preferred groove where you want to be on a restart. If you're not the race leader, that is, who always seems to get a good jump. So keep an eye on Philip Scott here. He might be able to work his way into a top 3 position here very shortly, Bob.
Yeah, I was gonna say in our interview with him, he said, "You know what? I'm gonna hang back here, just try to avoid some wrecks if possible, and it'll be a little tough moving up." But man, look at Philip Scott able to move up in fifth right now, or fourth place rather right now, and man, this is going to be an exciting shootout.
Whole field rolling by our camera here and inside the ground, and definitely a great camera here as these cars now, you can see all the flash bulbs going off because the pace car lights have turned off, so we'll get set to go back to it. Good recovery by some of these drivers here tonight, including Ron Chicky, who's been involved in an accident a couple times here tonight. There's the 44 of Givishausen back there. We currently have 10 race cars on the lead lap for this 7-lap shootout here tonight. And one thing, Bob, cautions breed cautions. Will we see another one?
You know, the way this race has been going, I'm really hoping we stay green for the last 8 laps, but man, if we take a look at those trends, that caution flag may be coming out one more time, but green flag is out in the air right now. The 20 of Jason Freeman able to get a great jump there on the restart, able to slide up in front of the 52 of Ron Chicky, but here comes Philip Scott on the inside. He's looking to knock on the door and try to take second place away, thinks better of it there as he comes out of 2. And now as the field comes out of turn number 4 with 6 laps to go, it's really anyone's race still.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Ron Chicky needs to start hauling the mail right now because the 20 of Freeman got such a good restart. We're coming just 5 laps to go. Look at him sawing on the wheel here. He does close right in on the back bumper. That number 20 might have just kissed the wall. And here we go, side by side for the race lead. This is for the marbles here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 4 laps to go this time. Look at Philip Scott. He's got himself now up into the 3rd position. He wants more. He's trying to get underneath Hot Lap Ron. And look at who's in 4th once again. Your current points leader, the number 4 of Jason Gracias, has been fast all season long. He's trying to get a podium finish once again here. This is a wild finish here at Bristol Motor Speedway, folks. Definitely give us the like button because I'll tell you what, we're setting ourselves up for a side-by-side as Hot Lap Ron. A little bit of a wiggle there coming out of turn number 4.
Man, Hot Lap Ron got all sorts of sideways, somehow kept it off that inside wall. Lost a little bit of time to Jason Freeman, but still he's looking to pick up the pace right now and ride that momentum after winning the cash race last week.
And a little bit further back, look at Dave Harvey in the 77. He's trying to get up into the 3rd position. He's going to slide up in front of Philip Scott. He's now up to 3rd. How about that? But looking back up at the front, Jason Freeman versus Ron Chicky. We're going to see the white flag this time. White flag in the air, just 4 more corners for Freeman to hold off the number 52. Can he do so? Just 2 more corners left here, Bob. It's looking good for the 20.
On to the inside, Ron Chicky side by side, coming out of turn number 4. Photo finish across the line. Oh, and Jason Freeman as they wreck across the line. Huge impact. But the race winner is going to be Jason Freeman. Right next to him, Ron Chicky. And wow, Dave Harvey coming in 3rd, but man, oh man, what a finish coming to the line.
Yeah, look at them beating and banging. Hot Lap Ron tried to give him the door. They beat, they bang, and just like that, they go spinning. The race win's going to go to Jason Freeman, but now the big question is, did our turn 1 camera survive? Because that number 20 machine got absolutely launched. Here he comes, race winner, the number 20 of Jason Freeman. That's how you do a burnout here at Bristol. We also had Billy Thornton back there in the number 5. Looks like he went spinning across the start-finish line. Let's see if we can dial up and see what exactly happened to him. Because, boy, oh boy, that was a wild, wild finish here at this racetrack here tonight. Here we go. Vincent Valvano right behind Billy Thornton. Going off into turn number 3, maybe a little bit of a love tap. Oh, yep, there it is. Rubbin's racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. Did he get the position? Yes, he did. And, man, that's reminiscent of Dale Earnhardt back in the day, Bob.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt, Terry Labonte, a nice battle between the 2 of those guys. But, man, just some fantastic racing here coming to the line.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. What a crazy finish here tonight. Definitely going to be one that goes down in the Total Nonstop Racing League history books because a lot of cautions here tonight, but also a very, very close finish. You won't see many finishes closer than that one at the Bristol Motor Speedway. But you know what, Bob, we have to interview some of these drivers because there's going to be some interesting post-race interviews here tonight. I'm trying to see if Dave Harvey is here in the chat. I do not see Dave Harvey, unfortunately. He is tonight's 3rd place finish. So let's see if we can get the 4th place finisher, Philip Scott, in here for a quick word. Hey, Philip Scott, Peter Short here in the 3OI TV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, crazy night for you. And there for a minute looked like you were going to walk away with a 3rd place finish, but you did lose out that spot to the number 77 of Harvey there just before the checkered flag. But all in all, pretty good race for you here tonight, especially considering you didn't have to use a faster pair. Did you even race Bristol at all if you didn't have to use a faster pair?
Guess not. But yeah, that was a wild race. Especially that finish. I knew that Gracias was gonna get to me at some point, so I was holding him off as hard as I possibly. At first I was trying to get to Ron, but I tried slide job him a couple times and it just didn't work. I just didn't have quite enough grip, and I just didn't have quite good enough runs on him. He was dead set on getting to Freeman's bumper, and so I tried a couple times, and so I'd lose momentum because I knew that was my only shot at winning. And of course, Gracias came up on me, and so I tried blocking him as good as I could. And then me and him were bumping quite a lot. There was a lot of contact, and while me and him were battling, Harvey just came in and sent it, and he got the P3. So that was props to him for making that move. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the P4. Good solid points. I should be safe to make it into the playoffs. But yeah, still chasing that win. At least I'm consistent.
Yeah, it seems like you're starting to get these interviews here on 3Wide TV much more consistently, and that's the good news. But hey, I'll tell you what, next week we go to Chicagoland, the 1.5-mile racetrack. It tends to be one of the favorites amongst a lot of drivers here in the iRacing service. What are your thoughts about Chicagoland?
Yeah, Chicagoland's great. I really like it. It's probably one of my favorites. It's probably one of my 2 favorite 1.5 miles. I'd probably say Kansas is my other favorite. But yeah, Chicagoland's really good. Kind of worn out track surface. You kind of have some line hunting. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I wonder how it'll go.
Yeah, definitely going to be a fun one here on 3Wide TV, same time, same place next week. Before we let you go, Philip, you got any shout-outs for us?
Yeah, so next week I didn't get the paint scheme in time. I forgot about it until the last second. So a Ninja Warrior friend of mine runs a breast cancer research charity called Ninja for a Cure. If you want to check him out, and I'll have him and his charity on my car next Monday. So it'll be a nice pink Ninja Warrior car. So yeah, check them out. Look up Ninja for a Cure on Instagram and anywhere. So yeah.
Well, definitely a very good cause. Of course, October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So definitely looking forward to that one, Philip. Best of luck at Chicagoland, bud.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, that is tonight's 4th place finisher, Philip Scott, in that number 8 machine. But I do believe that Mr. Bob Giaquinto has caught up with Hot Lap Ron himself.
I do. Hey, Hot Lap Ron, Bob Giaquinto up here in the 3OI TV booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, Ron, man, what an exciting finish. You really put the bumper to the 20 of Jason Freeman there, coming out of 4. What did you see there? What was the strategy trying to get that win?
Oh man, well my race was man, it was not what I wanted to do whatsoever. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but I stalled my car in pit lane twice trying to leave, beat the pace car out, and I left the closed pit anyway, and I just got all screwed up. So I was just really thankful to save my fast repair for that last big hit, that last accident I was involved in, and I had a fresh set of tires, so I just had a good run. I was way faster than a 20, but I couldn't pull it off. He was making his car pretty wide, so.
Yeah, that was one of those things where we had noticed throughout the race that fresher tires were definitely really important as this race went on. You would only pit, like you had said, a few laps before the end of the race, and The 20, I want to say, was on probably about 25 or so lap older tires than you.
Yeah.
A lot of momentum, and really it was just kind of like a yo-yo day for you. Started on the pole, got involved into a wreck, moved back up in the front, got into another wreck. Fantastic drive there to get you up to finish second.
Yeah, well, thank you. I did my best. It was, like I said, it was a yo-yo. It's a good analogy. I'm just glad I was able to make it up there. It's a shame I didn't get to see Tony hang off there with us. I was really rooting for him tonight. Really needs a win or a top 5 under his belt. But it was a good result for me. You know, it was a good. Hopefully, it was good for everybody watching. It was really fun for me. So I really enjoyed myself.
An absolutely fantastic finish. And Ron, next week we're looking forward to Chicagoland. What are your thoughts on the race as we start to close out the regular season?
Oh man, well, that track I struggle at actually, but it's definitely going to be challenging for everybody because there's not really too many places to run. So that's as far as on the track. I mean, just gotta pick a line and run it and be there at the end. It's one thing I've learned so far with this league is if you're there at the end, then you're in contention and you can come home with the win. You just got to be there. So that's what I'm try to do.
It's definitely going to be an interesting one. And Ron, before we let you go, any shout outs you have?
Oh yeah, I got a shout out to Anne Marie, Jack, and Abriana as usual. Love y'all and see you soon.
Awesome. Well, Hot Lap Ron, congratulations, second place finish, and we look forward to racing with you again next week at Chicagoland.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, I've made myself very much home to Victory Lane. It's very cozy up here on the top of the building here between turn number 3 and 4, and I am here with Jason Freeman, who's finally got himself back to Victory Lane here in the Total Nonstop Racing League. But Jason, it wasn't easy for you. You stayed out on older tires. You had a lot of cars behind you on fresh tires. How'd you do it?
Well, I knew I couldn't give him the bottom too much and me run the clear top. I was gonna have to run the middle of the track and have to pin him down. I was doing a lot of mirror driving there, but had to do what I had to do for the win.
Yeah, without a doubt, definitely a strong run for you here tonight. That number 20 machine, definitely a lot of strategies going on here tonight. When to pit and when not to pit. How important were tires here tonight?
They were pretty important. Both times I took my tires, I was able to get to the field, but I took that first set at the lap 40 mark, and then I thought maybe I screwed myself because a lot of guys hadn't taken theirs yet, and I seen how big of an advantage they were, and I knew I was only gonna have one set left, and they were gonna have two. But like I said, it worked out the end. I knew when I got my last set that I had to get to the lead because I figured if I could get to the lead, I could hold the lead. It's easy to get to somebody on the inside, but it's hard to get by them here. So as long as I could get to the lead and keep running that outside lane, I thought it'd be all right.
Yeah, let's talk about how this racetrack races, especially with the current national cars, because they don't have a lot of horsepower. You kind of have to stay wound up on that high line with these cars.
And unfortunately, I stepped on myself a few times and got in the wall and wall glued it. But you had to be right next to it to be fast. So I ran a little bit different line than I've seen some guys running. I entered high and I kind of arced it to the middle coming off. But I don't know. It just worked best for me. I think it used up tires a little more, but it also kept guys behind you, made the car extra wide.
Yeah, well, definitely knew how to get to Victory Lane here tonight at Bristol. Congratulations on picking up a win this season in the Mason-Dixon Cornhole Chevrolet. Next week, we go to Chicagoland. We've heard from a couple of the other drivers that say they really enjoy it. What are your thoughts about Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago's a fun place. It's going to be fast and definitely going to be a different animal than tonight. So I don't think we'll see many cautions next week. So strategy might come into play and what happens.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good one. Looking forward to that one. Same time, same place here on 3 Wide TV. But Jason, before we let you go, you got any shout outs for us?
Just Garrett putting on the league and all these guys. It's fun. I don't get on here too often, so Monday nights I look forward to and getting on and having some fun, clean, hard racing.
Clean, hard racing. We absolutely love to see it. And I know any person in iRacing wants to see clean, hard racing, and we saw a lot of racing here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway, 150 laps. Jason, you are the victor, so go celebrate your win. We'll talk to you possibly even next week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our post-race interviews here tonight. Bob, definitely a long race, but we still have to go through tonight's finishing results.
Yeah, absolutely. Our winner for tonight, Jason Freeman, driving the number 20 Mason-Dixon Cornhole Chevrolet. Finishing in second, our pole sitter, Ron Chicky, with a fantastic close .043 second margin of victory. Third place, David Harvey. Fourth in the 8 is Philip Scott. And running out the top 5 is Jason Gracias. In 6, Austin Grover. Didn't really talk too much about him tonight, but really a fantastic push later on in the race for him. 7th, the 38, Vincent Valvano, another guy I didn't really talk too much about, but had a great finish for him. In 8th, the 5 machine of Billy Thornton. 9th place, Stephen Kegman. And rounding out the top 10, the 44 of Kyle Givishausen.
Yeah, finishing in the 11th position here tonight, Joe Heater in the number 35 machine in the first car, 1 lap down. Stephen Doziak in the 55, finishing 4 laps down. Tony Lucarelli, who was trying to get to the checkered flag here tonight. He's been on a long streak now of DNFs, and we didn't mention it, Bob. That's one thing we did not mention here tonight, so you can't blame the commentator's curse on that one here. He's going to finish 13th. Matt Monticelli down in 14th. Mike Floppy Tellier, who got caught up in a couple of accidents here tonight. He was out of fast repairs at the end. We saw his hood flopping all around. Was that part of the name? I don't know, but Mike Floppy Tellier finishing 15th. Garrett Gleason, who had a great run going before I had to open my big mouth, finishing 36 laps down. Dylan Stipe in 17th. Tristan Mayer down in 18th. Fernando Matos 19th, and Matt Leach did not start here tonight. Most laps led was your eventual race winner, Jason Freeman, who I think he led just about the final 40 laps or so in the Mason-Dixon Cornhole Chevrolet, so definitely a strong run for him. Before we go, big shout out to some of the sponsors here of the Total Nonstop Racing League, the DRP Indoor Off-Road Racing in Old Forge, Pennsylvania, as well as Thornton Graphix. Make sure you go to those links that are in the description of the video. Go check them out for all your graphics needs and also your indoor off-road racing needs. I'll tell you what, I've been keeping an eye on the DRP track on Facebook, and that track looks really, really awesome. I'd love to get myself one of those off-road RC cars. I say it's indoor off-road. It's RC cars, folks, and definitely very, very cool RC car track as well. Got lots of jumps, and their season just now starting up in Old Forge, Pennsylvania, so make sure you check them out. Big shout out to our friends over at SimTV for the camera package that we brought to you here tonight and every week on this channel. But Bob, before we go, any final thoughts about Bristol?
You know, it's been a fantastic race tonight. Really one of the best finishes that we've seen all season long, and some good, clean, hard racing like we have mentioned from all the drivers. And man, I'm just looking forward to Chicagoland next.
Absolutely. You see it up there at the top of the screen, Chicagoland next. Make sure you join in. Same time, same place right here on 3Wide TV next week. Have a good night, everyone. See ya!